Hey, Alex, how you doing, man?
Hey, Kelly, what's up, man?
Oh, I was just reminiscing about the days when things were different. Back in the days when we did some weird stuff back there. What do you remember any things that you used to do that kids don't understand today?
Talking about dead ends.
Yeah, I'm talking about dead ends, but just, some particularly strange ones.
I mean, when you say things were different just a few months ago. It seems like things are changing a lot by the month. But you're talking about like when we were kids.
I'm talking about probably up until about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago, you would go on a business trip. You just took a business trip, didn't you?
Did, yeah.
What time did your meetings start in the morning, typically, at these business trips?
Well, it was a conference, so those things you start
Okay.
about 8 in the morning.
8 in the morning. So you have like a general session that you go to, or breakout rooms, or something like that?
Sure, yeah. 8 to 5.
You might have stayed out a little late the night before, maybe, sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On the reg.
You're bonding with your coworkers and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, how do you wake up in time to get to the conference?
Well, now I set my phone.
Yeah. How did you used to?
Alarm clock.
Yeah. Did you ever call down to the lobby and ask for a wake-up call?
Oh, dude, you're right. That is what you did. Called down to the lobby and asked for the wake-up call. You just trusted that they would do it. Sometimes they didn't do it.
Those hotel employees have to go through training on that.
Do they still do those?
They have to go through training, and one of the things they have to do is say your name. So, yes, Mr. Milam, or yes, Mr. Sir in 426, your wake-up call, and then they have to repeat back the time you want the wake-up call for. 4 a.m.? Yes, we can certainly do that. Room 426? Yes. 4 a.m. wake-up call. We've got it in the books. Thank you. Have a good night, sir.
I do remember there was nothing like a super loud telephone and you're the biggest alarm, and then you have to answer it. And I remember later on it was like an automated thing, but back in the day, it was like the person downstairs calling you.
It was a real person calling you at a specific time. Now, these wake-up calls, they're kind of a thing of the past because now you don't even use an alarm clock anymore, right? You've got your phone sitting next to the bed. You tell Siri or Google or whoever to set an alarm for you to go off at a certain time. Did you ever set your alarm for PM instead of AM?
Oh, I did that just a couple weeks ago, actually.
Really? So set the alarm and you think you're getting up at 6 a.m. and you set it for 6 p.m.?
Yes, that did happen.
What happened a couple of weeks ago? Still have a job? Still married?
Yeah. It was just
made
what
it
you
to
said.
the doctor or whatever you had to be?
It was a new phone, and I didn't have all the, in the old one I had a lot of presets, because they saves all your old ones, and I had to make a new one, and I didn't toggle the PM.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't toggle the AM or whatever, and it never went off. And then it turns out,
yeah, it set for PM.
Those things are never wrong.
No,
if you do something wrong, it's your fault.
Yeah, pretty much.
What you can't do with the wake up call is snooze it. You can't tell the guy, "Can you call me back in 7 minutes?"
That's right.
You're not going to do that. I think that'd be stressful to have to do the wake up call.
Oh yeah. In the UK, they call it an alarm call, and in Asia, it's called a morning call.
It's funny that even though wake up calls don't really happen anymore, otherwise they wouldn't be a dead end, the term is still in our vernacular. Like if somebody says, "Oh man, that was a real wake up call,"
you had a close call. It could have been a lot worse. Maybe I should change my behavior.
But people really don't know what that means. Kids today, they probably use that just like when they say something's a broken. I don't mean to be a broken record. I'm thinking,
yeah,
when somebody under 30 years old says that, I wonder if they even know what they're saying.
Well, we even still call the thing in our pocket a phone, right? It's not a phone. It's a little pocket computer that you use for a million things more than use it to make phone calls. Right.
And if you make a phone call, you're going to dial a number, but there's no dialing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Amka Deborah is a Swahili phrase, and this is why they call it that in Africa. It's from the Bible, the book of Judges, and it is calling upon Deborah to rise and sing. And so it has something to do with rising and singing, and to say Amka Amka means Swahili means rise and sing. So that's why they call it that down there. Now,
that's beautiful.
There's a thing in the military called reveille. You heard of that one?
Oh, yeah.
And then if you ever go to Disney, you can actually set yourself up for, if you're on a Disney property, they'll give you a free wake-up call, and it'll sound like this.
Hiya, pal. Mickey Mouse here, and you know what time it is?
Mickey.
Why, it's time to wake up. Big doings going on today, so rise and shine, and we'll see you real soon. Oh, gosh.
I love it.
Big doings going on today.
Yeah. And of course, the original wake-up call, we know what that is.
The
rooster.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The rooster was what would wake up everybody back in the day. You couldn't really set the time, though. It kind of was automatic. It was set. It was preset.
Whenever the sun comes up, right?
Yeah,
yeah. Don't roosters crow whenever the sun comes up?
That's right.
That's actually a really cool thing about nature. Like that, you will always, if you're on a farm, you don't need a wake-up call as long as you got a rooster around.
You'll be up at the crack of dawn.
I wonder if the bird flu. By the way, you heard about this bird flu, right?
Current one?
Yeah. That one. It's not a dead end. It's the one we got now.
I heard about the measles going on, but no. What about bird flu?
You don't know about the bird flu? That's why the eggs are so expensive. You know.
Oh, the birds are dying. Okay.
I don't think the flu is killing the birds. I keep reading about how people are destroying the birds because they have the flu. I don't think the flu is killing them.
Okay. But that's why eggs are expensive.
Sure. If that's not true, just email us at not at Doorknob City. I'm sure somebody out there that if I've just messed that up, I don't think the flu is killing the birds. I think that we're killing the birds because they have the flu, which is a little harsh. It's just a flu.
What does that have to do with a wake-up call?
Chicken. But you can't give them chicken soup because they're already. Never mind.
They'd be cannibals. Well, so
they can't recover from the flu because they can't have the chicken soup.
That Disney thing was actually something that they still do. It's a free service. So if you go there, there's a button that says "Wake Up Call," and you can pick which character you want. But if you're really into wake up calls, you can visit a website. It's called Snoozester, SNOOZESTR, Snoozester.com. And here's what they say on Snoozester.com. It's super reliable. They've delivered 10 million calls since 2005. It works with any phone on a landline or a mobile device. It's easy to use. Set it and forget it. Nothing to download or install. And here's the part that you might really like is it's great for heavy sleepers. So you choose Secure Awake when you schedule your call, and they will call you every few minutes until you answer the phone.
It's automated, I assume.
Well, there's different tiers. So you can actually have an automated version that's a little less expensive, or you can have a real person if you want to pay a little more. Snoozester.
Wow. So there's actually a company where there's real people that will call you and wake you up.
Yeah, they have both options. And it starts at $1 a week for an annual plan and 14-day free trial. So Alex and I are sponsored by Snoozester. If you use our code here, you'll get a discount for the first year, 50 cents a week, and you'll be sure to wake up on time.
I don't believe you.
So I do think we should offer one lucky caller, or one lucky listener. If there is somebody listening right now, if you want us to give you a wake-up call, email us your phone number and the time you want to be woken up.
Oh, my God. No.
Just one time.
I'm not doing that.
Email us your phone number.
That's too much pressure.
The time you want to be woken up.
No, I'm not doing that.
What time zone you're in. because we have lots of cities around the world that listen to this
I
show.
just told you I mess up than AM PM. I can't even wake myself up.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'm going to send out Alex's phone number is. I'm gonna put it in the liner notes. I want you to wake up call Alex the next time it's early and he needs to wake up. How about that?
How about this? If you ever have to wake up, if you ever want to wake up, but you don't have to wake up at a certain time, let us know, and we'll call you around that time.
Plus or minus 3 hours.
Plus or minus
12
plus or
hours.
minus 3 hours. I don't want to get into any of that liability. I mean, can you imagine having a company like this and they're like, I was late to a job interview.
Right. And the reason the person didn't give you the wake up call is because they overslept.
Right.
They missed their wake up call.
Those people would have to use a form of wake up call as well.
Yeah. It's sort of a big circle.
That stresses me out.
In 1992, there was an album by a guy named John Mayall and the Blues Breakers called Wake Up Call. Mm-hmm. In 1993, there was an album by a band called Petra called Wake Up Call. In 2003, Phil Collins had a song called Wake Up Call. In 2007, Maroon 5 had a song called Wake Up Call. In 2014, there was a TV series called Wake Up Call. In 2017, there was a studio album by Theory of a Dead Man called Wake Up Call. And then finally, probably along the same lines as Boney M, Trippie Redd and KSI had a song called Wake Up Call in 2020.
I'm guessing that none of those songs had actually anything to do with calling the fret desk and being asked to wake up.
You never know. Well, if you've traveled or if you're going to be traveling soon and you've never experienced it, I highly recommend you dial 0 on your room phone, if there is one, because some rooms don't have them, and ask for a wake up call.
Do you think they still offer that?
There's only one way to find out.
Because if it is, then the dead end is null and void.
Well, I guarantee you, if you ask your kid or if I ask my kid what a wake up call is, they're not going to know what we mean in that context.
True. If you go and try a wake up call, let us know how it went. Let us know if they dropped the ball, if it was completely automated, how it was. I like the Mickey Mouse one a lot.
If there was a real person with a nice soothing voice. So I was just in Chicago and got in kind of late, and we checked in. This was a fairly nice hotel. It was a Hyatt Regency, and I normally don't drink the bottles of water, the $5 bottle of water that they leave there, but I didn't want tap water, and I was pretty thirsty. I like to have a glass of water next to the bed. So I go ahead and open it and take a sip. Somebody had already opened it, drank from it, and refilled it with tap water because I could tell. And so I drank part of it, and then
Really?
I refilled it with tap water and put the label back on it. So it's like I did to the next person what was done to me, but I wasn't going to pay $5 for somebody else's tap water.
Is that the golden rule? Is that what you did? You just
It was more like the lump of coal rule. And then I called for a wake up call.
That's almost like a vinegar Valentine.
It is. It happened to me, and I passed it along. Anyway, wake up calls, they're a thing of the past, but we want to keep them alive because I think that's a dead end that should stay.
I was staying in a hotel a night before my interview. I told the man behind the desk I need a 7:30 wake up call. He said fine, I said thanks. I said 7:30, not 7:35, 'cause this interview is important to the future of my life. He said yeah, whatever. The next morning I woke up and looked at the clock and I said, oh shit. It was 9:15, I was supposed to be at my interview at 9. I tried to call the office to explain. I got voicemail, so I said, oh hell. I jumped in the shower, I was all mad and stressed out. But then I thought, the guy behind the desk last night was wasted. I that's a good excuse, right? I had a great excuse for why I was late. The guy behind the desk at the hotel was drunk. That wasn't my fault. He didn't wake me up. That's why I was late for my interview. I showed up at my interview. I was so embarrassed and ashamed. I walked in and I said, I'm so sorry. The guy at the front desk at the hotel, he was so drunk. I asked him for a wake-up call. He never called me. That's why I'm late. And the man who was interviewing me, he said, that's funny, 'cause last night I was at the hotel bar, and there was a guy there. He was just completely wasted. He was buying everybody shots. He was yelling and screaming and cursing, yelling and screaming and cursing and getting into fights. And they said that he worked here. I said, yeah, that was him. That's the guy. And he said, I could understand if the guy was just too drunk to wake you up. But he said when they cut him off, he said it was okay, 'cause he had to go back to work, because there was an important wake-up call that he had to make. And he said, don't worry, I know. He said, I'm gonna give this guy a call. And he said, yeah, this guy was so happy that you gave him